It's only a matter of time before we are placed at the forefront of our next war, but this war is expected to be vicious. The goal is to kill in mass amounts, and cyber warfare has emerged to allow this goal to be put to reality. These attacks are impossible to foresee. Destruction is more catastrophic than ever. The power grid of the city has died off. People are terrified. They're running, screaming. Systems have been shut down, and militaries are no longer able to rise to their rivals. They cannot launch their missiles, fly their aircraft, or activate their drones to fight against their rivals. The nation faced with this attack is
Warfare is a
going to
concept
die.
emerging rapidly within our society today. And without finding a way to combat this issue, we are positioned to face the undeniable truth that this weapon has the potential to wipe out our entire human race. You see, the answer to this is quite simple. This vision of the future was not based off science fiction, but it was generated entirely from known diagnostics, derived from patterns and trends of advances in technology that have occurred since prehistoric times. To gain a better understanding of this, let's take a quick glimpse back into the past.
Since the beginning of time, we as humans have waged war, and as evolution has evolved, so too has the technological advancements made to warfare. Some 50,000 years ago, war started as nothing more than throwing fists, sticks, and stones. In these days, soldiers knew their enemies, and thus fighting was very direct and personal. Evolution then led to the innovation of the longbow in the 14th century and the introduction of gunpowder and artillery in the 15th. It wasn't until the 20th century that science and technology were put to the sole purpose of killing people. The innovation of the atomic nuclear bomb showed this. The first nuclear bomb was dropped on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki on the 6th of August 1945. It caused an explosion that wiped out 90% of the city's populations. That's 70,000 to 80,000 people, of which exclude the further 70,000 who were injured. This is a weapon that could potentially be made powerful enough to wipe out not only mass amounts of people, but the entire human race. Although the nuclear bomb was the most innovative weapon of this century, several other weapons were also introduced and were seen to further contribute to the proliferation of lethal wars. These include, but are not limited to, jet aircraft, guided missiles, microwave radar, and proximity fuse. So as of this, where has advances in technology left us today?
Instead of advancing us as a global society, technological advancements have ultimately increased the world's race for power. As of this, we are faced with constant political pressures and trade wars that are on the brink of causing even more wars. A prominent example of this is the 2015 suspected chemical attack on the town of Khan Sheikhoun in Syria.
Here, Russia had allegedly dropped a bomb from an aircraft, sending a yellow mushroom cloud into the air that killed or critically injured anyone who inhaled the gas. This attack occurred purely because Russia believed they were losing global power, and in order to gain back this power, they believed it was essential to bomb any enemies of Bashar al-Assad, the Syrian leader and also an ally of Russia, to save one of their last remaining reliable allies and thus also remain their stance in the world. More weapons have been further advanced since the 20th century. Now there are also bullets that can change direction in flight to correct movement of a target, laser weapon systems that will burn through an enemy's target in less than 30 seconds, and the THAAD missile system, which allows incoming missiles to be blasted right out of the sky.
In 2050, the population of the world will reach approximately 9.8 billion. This means there will be an extra 2 billion people needing to be fed, and currently there are more than 800 million people in the world that are malnourished. So how can we possibly cater for even more people? The answer is simple: we can't. Inevitably, we will run short of not only food, but of essential resources such as oil too. And who gets what over who will be the inevitable cause of our next war. With the beginning of the 21st century setting stakes high for advances in military technology, how can we be positioned to view even further advancements in technology on our warfare?
Battlefields of the future will be vastly different from the major conflicts of the 20th century. Battles will no longer be fought with guns and bombs, but instead with computer codes and algorithms. Battles will no longer be restricted to the distinct edges of measurable perimeters. The emerging concept of cyber warfare allows battles to be fought anywhere and everywhere. Cyber warfare is a conflict initiated through the context of hacking computers, online control systems, and the networks of the enemy. It is a concept we should all be frightened of. Cyber attacks can be launched from anywhere in the world, instantly and secretly from any unarmed actor. Cybersecurity analyst and observer Cosmo Clark states that computer viruses will soon be as powerful as nuclear bombs. Eventually, they will have the potential to allow enemies to take control of real-world weapons, causing launch long-range missiles and laser-guided bombs as such to unexpectedly turn around and be launched back to where they came from.
They also have the ability to shut down the power grids of cities in just a matter of minutes. Not only will this cause distress on communities, but if GPSs and computer networks are shut down, it means militaries will basically be unable to function for the amount of days or even weeks that it takes for these systems to reboot themselves. And if a military is unable to respond to an attack with technology that meets the standards of their rivals, then what does this mean for our nation under the attack?
Enemies will attack at full blow, and there will be little that we can do to stop them. Mass amounts of people will be killed as a result. Damage to the battlefield will be more heroic than ever before. Those who do survive will be left to live in a city torn to pieces, one that would not even be worth fixing. We are not ready for cyber warfare, nor will we ever be, and thus we must find a way to stop it before the next war commences and it is too late.